what's up guys? Hope you're doing okay. I'm doing pretty good myself. Now we started doing the passenger runs, or the passenger reaction runs in Nick's car, and having a bit of a blast. It's going to take a few more days. We just need to get a few more passengers to be willing to come along for the ride. But for now, we have some good news. We finally got the blue car going. I've been working closely with a friend of mine, Lachlan and Ryan, and one of them lives down in New South Wales, and he's been connecting through the laptop from down south and just doing a bit of remote tuning, getting it set up. So that way it makes life easy when we go and take it to Keelan to get him to do the dyno tuning. I don't really like to have this car going over to Keelan's and then we end up spending half a day trying to fix up my issues and things that I've done wrong. So really appreciate that Ryan and Lachlan have come down and helped me sort that out. So that way when we go to Keelan's, it should be a bit of a breeze to go and tuning. I've discovered we have another problem. Now, I have boost controllers on the front engine and the rear engine as well. And when we start the rear engine, the engine's very lumpy, sounds fantastic. You can definitely hear those big cams doing their job. But the problem is when we start the front engine, the engine sounds a little bit different. And it wasn't until I actually pulled the rocker covers off and figured out what was wrong. But have a listen to this and I'll let you guys decide on the sound. So this is the rear engine about to fire up. There's no doubt about it, it's very, very loud. This has an exhaust that just exits out the bottom of the car. We have 8 inches of vacuum at idle, and you can tell it's very, very lumpy. Now if we go ahead and fire up the front engine, I might actually just leave the camera here just so you can hear the comparison of noise. So the front there, we've got the exhaust poking out the front bar. So here's the front engine. It sounds a lot quieter. We're at 15 inches of vacuum at idle. I mean, this has nothing to do with the tune-up whatsoever. So we can already hear that the engines sound different. We already know that the vacuum readings from front to rear are different. So the only thing that can be wrong here is I've either done the cam timing wrong or the cam profiles are different. And that's when I've gone ahead and pulled the rocker covers off and got a set of vernier calipers and I've gone and measured across the top of the cam lobes. Now, when I measured the rear, they both measured 42 millimeters across the top of the lobe. Then I've gone and removed the front rocker cover. I've gone and measured the exhaust cam, and again, 42 millimeters. And then I've gone ahead and measured the intake and it's 40 millimeters. So what that's telling me is that the front engine has smaller cam profiles, and that's why the idle sounds different and the vacuum's different and things like that. So we've got smaller cams. I went ahead and contacted Ivan Tyre, the camshaft company, and explained what happened. And I did underline to them that I'd bought these camshafts over 3 years ago. So I tried to underline to them, I'm not ringing you guys to try and get conversations or warranties or here to make you guys look bad. You know, I bought these 3 years ago. I should have fitted them up straight away, or, you know, at least within 12 months. That way I could contact them, let them know what happened, and you know, they could fix it up. They've been fantastic to me in the past. I've bought lots of cams through them, so please don't let this deter you from buying from them. I'm just simply explaining the problems that I've had, and now we can all learn something from that. So I spoke to the guy on the phone and explained what happened, and he says to me that the cam profiles can be the same, but what he thinks happened here is the base circles changed. And then that's when I clicked and realized that when I was assembling this engine, usually I can use about 2 millimeters of the valve shims to shim up the cams properly. But for some reason, I didn't pick up why, I had to get 4 millimeter shims for the intake side, which that should have been a dead giveaway that something's wrong with the base circle, and I didn't click, I just put them in and away we went. The guy said to me that it shouldn't be making as much difference, it should still be running okay. I did question about pulling the cam out to send back to him, but again, this was 3 years ago, so I'm not here to start any sort of war with these guys or make any complaints of anything of the sort. So what I need to do now is I need to get one of these cams coming, and luckily these guys do sell one cam by themselves. These particular cams, the intake and the exhaust, both run the same cam profiles. The cam part number, for example, is like B705 something. So the cam for intake and the exhaust run the same number. The only difference, of course, is one cam runs the cam gear and the other one runs underneath the rocker cover. So I'm going to go ahead, get the right cam coming, get that in the car. A lot of you guys are probably wondering, hey, what do you want to go and spend $450 on another camshaft for when you could just start it up and it's close enough? The problem is when we have two engines, it takes a lot of time to tune one. And if the other engine has identical specs, we literally can copy and paste the tune out of one computer, dump it into the other one, fire it up, and it's literally 95% there. We literally have to spend half an hour to an hour just tinkering around, doing little things, and away we go. If we were to get this fully tuned the way it is now with this problem camshaft, when we go and copy the tune and then dump it into the rear engine, we could end up wasting half a day or longer trying to get the tune working and trying to get that to, be correct, which if, dyno rates are could be a couple $100 an hour, it all adds up very, very quickly. So it's cheaper in this case, just get the correct camshaft, get it all set up, and that way when we're doing data logs and that sort of thing in the future, we can actually compare the data and we can see if anything is, any problems there or if anything's not doing what it should be doing. Anyway guys, that's just an update. We are still putting together the passenger reaction video, so definitely stay tuned for that. And we will see you guys next time. Take care.